Good morning. Good to see you this morning. Hope you're well. I'm looking at just a phrase, really, in the midst of a little passage in Luke chapter 17. It's from verse 20 onwards, but the phrase I'm looking at is in verse 21. It says here, being asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God was coming, he answered them, the kingdom of God is not coming with signs to be observed, nor will they say, lo, here it is, or there, for behold, the kingdom of God is in the midst of you, or is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. I've been thinking a lot about kingdom. In the church that I go to, we are doing a series on the kingdom of God, parables that Jesus taught. So we've been thinking quite a lot about what constitutes a kingdom. And of course here in the United Kingdom, in the UK, we have a new king. Well, not so new now. He was crowned last May, and he's been our king for 18 months now, since the death of our late Queen Elizabeth II. And it's been quite a strange adjustment for all of us, really, because we can't sing as we have done. I mean, most of us have sung for our entire lives, God save our gracious Queen. And now we sing, God save our gracious King. And it feels rather odd. And everything has changed. It's all changed quite gradually. But in the last few weeks, people have begun to receive letters with a stamp on the letter, a postage stamp with the King's head on it. Up until now, it's all been old stamps with the Queen's head on it. And coins are beginning to be minted with the King's head on it. And all the regalia of all the troops, all the royal cipher, the letters of the royal names, the King and Queen, both with a C, Charles and Camilla, have been put onto the uniforms, and everything has changed. But you know, the kingdom of God is different. The earthly kingdom of King and Queen, Charles and Camilla, is technically, I suppose, any place in the world where the King and Queen are acknowledged as rulers, and therefore they're not everywhere at once, are they? They have this royal standard, the royal flag, which flies above the building in which they are staying at that time. So you know that the king is in residence. And it's interesting. There used to be a children's chorus that we used to sing, which said, "There is a flag flying high from the castle of my heart, for the king is in residence there." And that's a very English thing, I think, or British thing, because you would know if the king was in residence because the flag would be flying above Windsor Castle or Balmoral or Buckingham Palace. But the kingdom of God is different. The kingdom of God was being misunderstood all the time that Jesus was teaching, because everyone thought that the Messiah would come and would overthrow the Roman usurpers, the Roman power, the Roman conquerors, and that the Jews would become self-ruling again, as they had done for many years in their history, and that there would be a new king on the throne, and that would be the Messiah, the anointed one, God's promised descendant of David, who would come and rule his people, Israel. And here they are, the Pharisees, saying to Jesus, when is the kingdom of God going to be set up? You're always talking about the kingdom in your parables and your teaching, but when is it going to happen? When are we going to get our autonomy back from the Roman conquerors? And Jesus makes it quite clear that it's a different kind of kingdom. The kingdom of God is not at the moment defined by a physical area of land ruled by a king. It is defined by the heart that is committed to the rulership of Jesus. The kingdom of God is in the midst of you. The kingdom of God is within you. That's where the king rules. The king rules inside the life and heart of every believer. It's a different kind of kingdom. There will come a day when all will acknowledge our King Jesus. But at the moment, not everybody does. And while that is the situation, we must think about how the kingdom of God is enacted, is acknowledged, is demonstrated in our personal lives. The kingdom of God is within you. It's already arrived. It's where Jesus is acknowledged as King. In fact, it's where the King is in residence, and the King Jesus is in residence in my heart and in your heart. And we acknowledge him, just like in our nation here in the UK. Everything has been changed because there's a new king. And when Jesus becomes king of the kingdom of your heart and my heart, your life and my life, everything changes. Everything has an adjustment to be made when there's a new king. And so it is true, just as the coinage, the communications, the international recognition, it all changes because there's a new king. So everything, King Jesus touches every aspect of our lives. Every aspect. Our thinking, our spending of our time, our priorities, our money, so many things. So many things change when the king is in residence. So, behold, the kingdom of God is within you. That's a wonderful thought for today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.